this. All right, so I'm going to be officially making my statement on why I think that Marc got unfairly disqualified for having the name Softaimer Marc. To pull it up, I'm going to go ahead and bring up the specific instance. So I'm currently on stream, but I'm kind of ignoring my stream to go through this really quickly. So Marc got disqualified for having the name Softaimer Marc, which I think we can see somewhere down here. I don't know. His name was Softaimer Marcs. Okay. So he got disqualified and his name was changed to user-A7C20CB915. So they forcibly changed his name. Now, I want to jump to a blog post that was posted on 6/16/2020 called Fortnite Competitive Updates Chapter 2 Season 3. This was very early on, I believe in this season, where they explained some changes that they were going to have to Fortnite Competitive. Now, the most important part is this display name policy. I'm going to read it and I'm going to read the most important part of it. The display name policy. Part of our broadcast goal is to share Fortnite competitions with globally diverse viewer base. It is our responsibility to make sure that all parts of our broadcast are living room safe, including the display names of all competitors. Any player who has a questionable display name is required to change it now or will be disqualified from current tournaments and ineligible for the next FNCS season's FNCS depending on severity or repeated rule breaks. So this is the biggest issue with this whole issue, is that I do agree, this is where I do agree with Epic, that Marc's name was questionable because it's up to their interpretation. So they left it open-ended and it's up to their interpretation to decide whether or not his name was questionable. And I completely agree that his name was questionable and that they didn't like it. And it says, or they will be disqualified from current tournaments. So if this was the only information we had to go off of, it makes sense. He had a questionable name. They didn't like it. He got disqualified. But here's the problem. This display name policy is not in the official FNCS ruling or rules with all this legal looking jargon and sections posted on 7/17/2020. So on 7/17/2020, a month after the display name policy came out from the competitive update blog post, none of this policy is in these rulings. And I'll show you. I'll copy paste it to show specifically. But none of this information is within this bracket of ruling. So I guess you could make the argument that because it came a month prior, it's a blanket policy. But I could also see the argument for saying, hey, it's not in the official fine print of this specific tournament. He did not break these specific tournament rules. He's in the clear. So let's go on ahead and go down because I have to get through more of these rules. And I'm trying to be quick and concise and also accurate. So let me find the section for player name in the 7/17 official FNCS ruling, and it is section 3.5. All teams, this is very important as well, all teams and individual player names must follow the code of conduct in section 8. Epic and the event administrators may restrict or change team and individual player tags or screen names for any reason. So this is saying that they may change his name or team name because they don't like the name. And we've already established that they did in fact do that. They changed his name to user A7C20CB915. Nowhere in this entire section does it state that he will be disqualified. Nowhere in this entire official ruling does it once say that he will be disqualified for his player name, except for if he broke the code of conduct in section 8. Now let's go to section 8. I'm not going to read all this. I've already done it. You can read through the entire section 8 ruling, and not once did Marc break any of these rules. I promise you. I'll leave it to you, but not once did he break a single rule in the code of conduct for section 8. So, and in the section 8 code of conduct, this is where they specifically specify that if you break the code, the section 8 code of conduct, that you can be disqualified. So let's recap. Marc was disqualified. He was forcibly name changed. The display name policy from 6/16/2020 is nowhere listed specifically in this terminology, questionable display name, in the official Fortnite FNCS rules, and nowhere imaginable did he break any of the section 8 code of conduct. In my complete opinion, and I want to wrap this up very concisely, I 100% agree with Epic that Mark had a questionable name. I 100% don't think he should have had the name. I 100% agree that he would not have the name on broadcast. I get it. They're a company. They're protecting their interests. They don't want that. I 100% agree. But I also 100% disagree that he broke the Section 8 Code of Conduct. I 100% disagree that he falls under this blanket policy that is nowhere listed specifically in the 717 FNCS official rules. And I completely, I don't know if I already said this, but I am for sure that he did not break that code of conduct, which would give them any grounds to disqualify him. This is what should have happened. Epic should have seen his name, not liked it. We know that's true. They should have changed his name, and he should have been free to compete. Simple as that. So, I just think that I see both sides clearly, and I want to make that very clear. I completely understand why Epic would not allow this. I completely understand why they don't want this, but I do not think that this ruling is fair, and I personally can't stand beside it. I can't. Do I understand it? Yes, I do. They don't want that name on their broadcast. I get it. I completely get it. It's 100% acceptable for them not to want the name, but the action that they took is wrong. The action that they took is 100% wrong. I mean, it says it here. This is the fine print of the tournament that he got disqualified from. All team and individual player names must follow the code of conduct in Section 8. Epic and the event administrators may restrict or change team and individual player tags or screen names for any reason. It does not say that he will be disqualified unless he breaks that code of conduct in Section 8, and he did not. So, thank you for listening. That's my opinion. Does it really matter? No. Is this the end of the world? No. Has this set the precedent for everybody else to know what is and isn't allowed? Mostly, because we kind of understand now that you just shouldn't take a risk at all is really the underlining theme. You just shouldn't take a risk at all. And do I appreciate people like Monster D-Face and Shia Wager posting this information? Absolutely. I completely agree with it, but I don't think it's fair that these are the people that are giving specific information, like July 31st, this name will get you actioned against. I saw another Softaimer name get shut down. I don't think it's fair that this information is where we get the specifics. I don't think it's fair that we have to be following Monster D-Face, even though he's not required to do this, to get specific information like this. I don't think that's fair. So I don't think the ruling's fair, and that's just where I stand.